labor is usually one of the easiest things to cut, whereas we're trying to add labor. So we're not trying to phase jobs out because we try to provide more jobs for the visually impaired. So we have to try to find other ways to cut costs by being more efficient, less mistakes. And so where this comes in, where this product comes in, we're really able to streamline the data without having a lot of mistakes. And we've actually been able to make some of the job work easier for the visually impaired because we have a legally blind employee out in our warehouse that is pulling orders. And our old solution had to be used on the little scanners. We can now do it on a tablet. It makes his job much easier. Now we're going to be trying to create more jobs for our visually impaired employees out in the warehouse. So it's been a very good product for us to implement. If you ship a truckload or one box, it's the same amount of paperwork, and we needed to come up with a more efficient way to get the products out the door and with less paperwork. Our previous solution did not meet any of the EDI requirements. We were having to do a lot of paper pushing for ASN documents, ASN labeling. It was very time consuming. We didn't have the ability to track what was in what container, which was starting to become a demand from many of our customers. Integrated shipping meant less manual entry, less mistakes, sped up a lot of the data entry. Rather than having to type in a bunch of stuff, it does flow seamlessly. It's really pretty efficient. And now we're able to we're doing 20% more shipments with the same amount of staff, but actually less staff on the computers. So we have more people pulling product. We're actually shipping out on time more often now than we were this time last year with our old solution. So we are starting to see a definite return on our investment. Where I've seen the biggest efficiency is with the ASNs. Where we used to have, with our old solution, what we used to have to do is take all of our packing lists, take it to a person in accounting, and on there we had a mark on there what was in what box. So when they were generating the ASN, they made sure all the product was in the correct box, everything was packed, and then that way when the ASN was sent out, the customer would know exactly what materials were in what container. And again, with the compliance issues, I'll reinforce what Don's been saying. If the ASN is incorrect, you get fined by the customers. Now, as they're packing it with the Quick Pack solution, all that is done as they're pulling the product. So now everything is streamlined. As soon as they hit complete on our tablets or scanners, it goes straight to Quick Pack. All the information's already there. There's no more having to massage the information or do anything like that. And then once they send it to ACPAC, all that information's there. It goes to merchant. ASN's already done. It goes out. What used to take us a couple hours is now taking minutes. So that's really helped streamline. We used to have a 3-day turnaround. An order would come in, our product was supposed to be out in 3 days. With the orders coming in smaller and we were having to do more paperwork, more shipping, our turnaround had grown up to 2 weeks. Within the last 6 months, we implemented this solution in January. We've now gotten it down to where our turnaround's back to 4 days. So that's helped us become much more competitive. Again, as I was alluding to earlier, we can't really streamline any of our production processes. We can't automate it because that's where a majority of our visually impaired are employed. That, direct labor, that's where we have to maintain our ratios. So becoming more efficient on the warehousing side is very important for us to maintain our competitiveness. Our previous solution, we had a lot of macros built, a lot of customized to try to make it a little bit more efficient so we could automate some certain processes. It was nice, it was kind of neat, but every time we did an upgrade of Sage, if we did an upgrade of anything, the databases they changed just enough, or there was just enough changes in some of the programming. We always had to go back and tweak, so it made upgrades a little bit more difficult, more time consuming, added extra costs. Now with this one, when we do our upgrades, we don't have to worry about those little macros, those customized things that we wrote. When we do the upgrade, we'll know that when we're done, the software is going to work, because they've already made sure on their end that the software works with the newest release of Sage. It's going to, so we should see a significant cost reduction when we're doing our upgrades annually or semi-annually. See, we've been doing business with y'all, I think 8 years now. Most of our objectives have been, we've had to broaden our product line. We've had to add product to our product mix so that we can maintain our revenue, since we're fighting all the government cutbacks. And with Edisoft, when they came out and they showed us this solution, and when we went live with it, whenever we called, whenever we had an issue, because there's always hiccup or growing pains with something new, we never were waiting for them to help us get through it. Their response time is phenomenal. Moran has helped us tremendously. Every time we would see something that we needed to, hey, maybe if we did this, he would take it to the developers, and they would usually have a solution for us pretty quickly. So Edisoft has been very key in their support on getting us up and running whenever we do any kind of changes or any kind of solutions.